Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the TexasSpaceNavy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I wanted to talk about my first impressions of the 3.13 PTU Wave 1 patch. What do I think of it so far? What all have I tried out? What have I yet to try out? Well, first of all, I really haven't gotten to try out a whole lot on the PTU. It's been a little bit buggy, some frame rate drops and stuff. Of course, you know, that's the bigger landing zones. That's one of the issues with them. But I did encounter a few other little bugs here and there. Now, the thing I really wanted to test out and bring to you today is ship-to-ship docking. If you didn't know, today, or at least 3.13, is where we're going to get our first iteration of this ship-to-ship docking. Now, you might say some of the other ships have had a form of that, like the 890 Jump or the Carrack, where they have cargo bays that you can, you know, land your little bitty puddle jumpers into. You know, things like the Pisces or all the way up to a Hurricane in the 890 Jump. But that's not exactly the ship-to-ship docking that they are referring to. This kind of ship-to-ship docking is with the Constellation here, as you can see, and, you know, the P-52 or the P-72, the little snub craft that it comes with. Now, there are other ships that are going to have similar docking type gameplay. Supposedly the Banu Merchantman will for the Banu Defender. That's yet to be seen. Then we also have like drones and stuff from a lot of other ships to deal with. You do have other cargo bays for some of the bigger ships as well, but it's again, that's not ship-to-ship docking. That, you know, what we're looking at here is specifically the Connie and how it interacts with its snub fighter. Again, I know there's other ships out there that will have snub fighters or at least drones that are going to have some sort of ship-to-ship docking gameplay or mechanism. So what I've done here is I took off from Lorville in the Connie. This is actually my second attempt. First attempt, my Connie just crashed right back down to the planet. There's always been some sort of a power issue for my Connie. It just, a lot of times they can't get up enough power. And somebody was saying, well, make sure you have all size 2 components. Well, you know, that's fair enough, and that did definitely work. So, yeah, I definitely made sure all my components were size 2 or, you know, before I took it out this time, and I was able to leave the planet and head towards Magda. Now, this was before I did the whole Magda jaunt. I wanted to just test out how this docking and undocking works. Once you get into the cockpit of your ship, you just simply press N. N is normally reserved for landing gear, but in this case, it's just signifying that you're ready to turn the engines on and decouple or undock from the host vessel. And as you can see here, I'm using the Constellation Phoenix here in the all white, which comes with the P-72 Archimedes in all white, which is really cool because it's got the 4 size 1 gimbals. Could be pretty nasty depending on what ships you're going against and how you fly this ship. So one of the things that I've seen from other YouTubers out there is when you get certain distance away from your constellation, your home constellation, you cannot find it again. And I did test that out after this portion of the video. When I went to Magna, I went to OM2 and dropped out of the ship and then went down to the surface, and then I tried to come back and find my constellation, and I could not find it. So sure enough, that is an issue that definitely needs to be corrected, because you should be able to find your other ship in orbit. I mean, you should have some way to lock onto that thing at all times, you know, track the transponder, or I don't know. There should be a way for you to lock onto it so you can find it again. Or at least if you're leaving it at OM, you should be able to lock on to the coordinates for the OM in a snub craft. Even though you can't quantum there, I mean, you should still be able to fly there, and once you get close enough, be able to find your ship again. I don't know how they're planning on doing this later on. I know this is first iteration, but yeah, that's going to be a big issue, especially if you're in combat and somehow the two of you get broken away from each other or spread out, you're not going to be able to find your way back to your ship. Now, I guess if you're playing with other people, that's not going to be a big deal because you'll be able to hone in on their name tags, their call sign or whatever. So yeah, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now, if you want to redock, I made a mistake here. So if you press N, it's just going to put you in landing mode and not docking mode. You actually have to target the ship, target the constellation before you press the N button. Then once you have the constellation targeted, you can press N and it'll engage a docking mode. It'll say, hey, you're wanting to accept docking mode. Now, manually trying to dock this thing is extremely difficult to do. I tried it numerous times, and honestly, I never once got it to dock manually. So I do recommend, once you get fairly close to the ship, you just hold the N button and have it automatically dock. I did not get to check this thing on the move, how easily it docks, whenever you're gonna auto dock on the move. I hope that it's not too difficult. I do want to try that out with some org mates here in a future video just to see how it works, or if it works, but it could be a lot of fun. So as you notice, the bay isn't even open here for the docking collar. Once you get close enough, you actually have to press N again for the docking collar to open up for you even to be able to dock, and then you hold the N button down and it'll auto dock. So definitely keep that in mind. I have seen others, YouTube content creators and stuff attempt this, and they all say the same thing. Auto dock is definitely the way to go. Don't even try, manually docking. It's a waste of time. It's so difficult to do. And a lot of them have said don't even try this on the move. But I definitely want to try the auto dock on the move and see how it works, because chances are, you're not going to want your ship to just sit there unless it's, it's fairly safe or it's got a crew in it, ready to do combat. And sometimes even in combat, you may have to flee, and you may want this snub to catch up and hit this dock on the move. I mean, how fast can you go in auto dock? I want to test that out. I want to see. Now, other things that I haven't tested out that are in this patch. Caves. I have not tested out the caves yet. As you can see, I'm fumbling around trying to manually dock this thing in third person. Not a good idea. Haven't done caves, and haven't tested out some of the mining components, the new mining components. Somebody asked in our Discord or our Guilded if the new mining components replace the old mining consumables, and the answer is no. So they're really trying to flesh out the whole mining system a little bit more to where, I don't know, where it's going to just be better. There's a lot more to it and whatnot. With the addition of repairs and salvage and stuff like that coming down the pipe fairly soon, and healing, I mean, we're really starting to get a lot of the game mechanics into the game. But these are just the ones that I have been looking forward to trying out in 3.13, and I will bring you some future videos on caves and, on the mining components, as well as a few other things like ship names. I may hold off on the ship names until the patch actually drops. You have to name your ship on the PTU website if you haven't done so. I mean, I've named all my stuff on the regular RSI website, so it should be in 3.13 correctly. But on the PTU, it's a little bit different. I think they're giving you a chance to test out changing names, how the names look, etc., etc. So definitely something, if you're on the PTU, that you should be aware of is you have to do all the naming on the PTU website. So here you saw that I was able to dock, automatically, not manually, and then I undocked, and I'm just going to test it out again. I'm kind of going to test out an approach here where I get a little close and then hit that N button for the auto dock. Hold the N button. My apologies. So guys, what do you think about ship-to-ship docking, first iteration? You know, it's okay. To me, it seems okay. It definitely has a little ways to go, but it's better than not being able to have it at all, and this could be a lot of fun with a small group of people, especially in combat. You just get somebody in the turrets, get somebody in the Archimedes or the P-52 Merlin, and now you've got a force multiplier. You got another ship that can go at the enemy. So let me know if you guys are using this yet in the PTU as groups, and let me know what you think about it. Thank you once again. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.